Hello there, welcome to Siyasat TV. It's Thursday, May 6, 2021. I am Sumayya Junaid Ahmed in Hyderabad, where we get you all the big news stories of the day from across India and the world. And here is our top headlines.
Over 4,12,000 daily COVID cases have been added in the country in last 24 hours and 3,980 lives have been lost due to COVID-19. This is the highest spike in cases as well as highest number of deaths in last 24 hours. The third wave of coronavirus is inevitable, says government scientific advisor, warning the vaccine will need to be updated to deal with new strains. Meanwhile, Dr. V.K. Paul says a national lockdown is being discussed. The centre says in the Supreme Court that it is incorrect that Delhi needs 700 metric tons of oxygen. Centre maintains that other states will be deprived of oxygen if it's given to Delhi. As Kerala records over 40,000 new COVID cases in the highest so far, lockdown is announced in the state starting from 8th of May to 16th of May. Rashtriya Lok Dal chief as well as former Union Minister Ajit Singh dies of COVID-19 at a hospital in Gurugram. BJP suffers a huge setback in Uttar Pradesh Panchayat poll. The party wins in 8 seats out of 14 in Varanasi, only 6 out of 40 in Ayodhya, big loss in Mathura, Prayagraj and Gorakhpur. BJP leads in 666 seats, Samajwadi in 747 out of 3,050 seats. Day after TERS note, Home Ministry sent 4 team to West Bengal to probe post-election violence. In a span of 24 hours, Telangana reports 6,026 fresh positive cases and 52 deaths.
Let us begin with our top story. Up to 3,980 people died of COVID in India in past 24 hours, the highest in the day so far, pushing total fatalities to 2,30,168. The country also set a new grim record in its daily COVID numbers with 4.12 lakh infections.
The Union Health Minister said after a review meeting on Wednesday that Assam, West Bengal, Odisha, Bihar and Jharkhand have seen a rise in both the number of daily cases and mortality, indicating the pandemic is moving eastwards. According to the government, 12 states including Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala and Uttar Pradesh have more than a lakh active COVID-19 case each. 30 districts are showing a continued rise in the number of cases for the past 2 weeks. 10 of these are in Kerala, 7 in Andhra Pradesh, 3 in Karnataka and 1 in Tamil Nadu.
Moving on to our next story, a third wave of coronavirus is inevitable, the government top scientific advisor said on Wednesday, warning that vaccines will need to be updated to deal with the new strains that have overwhelmed hospitals and left thousands dead.
Dr. K. Vijay Raghavan said at a government briefing that third wave is inevitable, given the high levels at which this virus is circulating, but it is not clear at what timescale this third wave will occur. As if a nationwide lockdown was the only solution to contain the unprecedented rise in cases, Niti Aayog member and chief of the National Expert Group on Vaccines, V.K. Paul said, if anything more is required, those options are always being discussed.
को भी बीच में लाया जाता है कि रिस्ट्रिक्ट किया जाए, पीपल मूवमेंट शुड बी रिड्यूस्ड, इंटरमिंगलिंग शुड बी रिड्यूस्ड। और इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में 29 अप्रैल को डिटेल गाइडलाइन इशू करी गई हैं हेडेड। उसमें ये कहा गया कि हमें चेन्स ऑफ ट्रांसमिशन को रोकना है और जिन एरियाज़ में टेस्ट पॉजिटिविटी 10% से ज़्यादा है या बेड ऑक्यूपेंसी 60% से ज़्यादा है, वहाँ से बिल्कुल क्लियर कट गाइडलाइंस दी गई हैं नाइट कर्फ्यू की। ये स्टेट्स को एडवाइजरी है, ये स्टेट्स विल टेक डिसीजन। और इसके अलावा सोशल, पॉलिटिकल, स्पोर्ट्स, एंटरटेनमेंट, रिलीजियस, फेस्टिवल रिलेटेड गैदरिंग्स के ऊपर बैन है। शॉपिंग कॉम्प्लेक्सेस, सिनेमा हॉल, रेस्टोरेंट, बार, स्पोर्ट्स कॉम्प्लेक्सेस, स्विमिंग पूल, रिलीजियस प्लेसेस, इनको भी बंद करने के लिए गाइडेंस दी गई है। और इसके अलावा ये क्लियरली कहा गया है कि स्टेट्स एंड यूटीज शुड मेक अ केयरफुल एनालिसिस ऑफ द लोकल सिचुएशन, एरियाज टू बी कवर्ड एंड प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ ट्रांसमिशन एंड देन टेक अ डिसीजन। So in that direction there is a clear balanced advisory. At the same, and this based on these advisories, states are taking their decisions and we appreciate that. At the same time, in addition to this range of restrictions, if anything more is required, those options are always being discussed, and those decisions as required will be taken. But at the same time, remember, this already there is a very significant guidance to the states to impose and impose restrictions in order to.
The Supreme Court began hearing the matter regarding the supply of oxygen by the centre to various hospitals in Delhi today. Centre told the top court that survey conducted revealed that Delhi hospitals have significant stock of oxygen, 280 metric ton oxygen coming today by Oxygen Express train. The centre said, adding that the supply of more oxygen to Delhi will affect other states of their share.
The top court responded by saying that its formula for oxygen allocation is a gross underestimate for Delhi and that it requires a complete revamp. It also rapped the centre over the handling of the oxygen crisis and said it's not just about allocating oxygen to states, we also need a plans for logistics. The third wave is around the corner and that it's time we start preparing for it.
Kerala Chief Minister P. Vijayan today announced that a statewide lockdown starting from 8th of May to 16th of May will be enforced. This is imposed to fight the surge in coronavirus cases. Currently, night curfew is enforced from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. with semi-lockdown like curbs during weekends.
Mr. Vijayan said in a tweet the entire state of Kerala will be under lockdown from 6 a.m. on 8th of May to 16th May. This is the background of a strong second wave of COVID-19. A day earlier, the Chief Minister had highlighted the serious situation of COVID in the state and indicated the possibility of a lockdown, adding the situation calls for imposing more restrictions in the state. Most states have taken to partial lockdowns or containment measures to fight the deadly sweep of the second wave of infections.
Former Union Minister and Rashtriya Lok Dal leader Ajit Singh passed away at Gurugram Hospital early this morning battling COVID-19. He was 82 years old. Singh, a prominent former leader and son of former Prime Minister Chaudhry Charan Singh, was diagnosed positive of COVID-19 on 28th of April.
President Ramnath Kovind, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, Samajwadi Party Supremo Akhilesh Yadav were among several leaders who condoled the death of the Jat leader. A message posted by Jayant Chaudhary on behalf of the family said, throughout his life journey, Chaudhary Sahib was loved and respected by many. He in turn cherished this bond with all of you and gave his best consideration and efforts for your welfare.
Alright, the Uttar Pradesh Panchayat election results touted as semi-final of a high-stake assembly elections next year have set the alarming bell ringing with dramatic swings. The candidates backed by the Samajwadi Party have surged ahead in 747 Zilla Parishad wards, while the Bharatiya Janata Party backed candidates are ahead by 690 seats. The counting, which started on 2nd of May, is still underway.
Though political parties do not issue their symbols for the three-tier Panchayat polls, they indicate the candidates they support in the Zilla Panchayat election. Despite being criticized for not putting enough effort in the campaign for the polls, Samajwadi Party leader Akhilesh Yadav is looking at a favorable poll result. On the other hand, the Yogi Adityanath-led BJP government alleged failure to tackle the COVID-19 crisis seems to have set its candidate back. The BJP's comprehensive campaign to knock on every door in even the smallest of villages has also failed to yield desirable results, the trends indicate.
And a day after Mamata Banerjee's government received a terse warning in second letter from centre over the post-poll violence in West Bengal, the Union Home Ministry has sent 4-member team to the state to assess the ground situation. The team, led by an additional secretary of the ministry, has left for Bengal.
Seeking a detailed report on the violence, the Home Ministry had asked the Bengal government to take necessary measures to stop such incidents. Without any loss of time, the letter was sent hours after Ms. Banerjee took oath as the Chief Minister for the third straight term. Since the election verdict on Sunday, there have been clashes in the parts of Bengal involving both the TMC and the BJP. Both parties have traded blame for the violence.
Let us shift our focus to Telangana, where COVID cases continues to surge in state. Telangana recorded 6,026 fresh positive cases and 52 deaths on Wednesday, taking the total number of cases to 4,75,748 and the death toll to 2,279.
Meanwhile, the recovery cases went up to 3,96,042 with the recovery 6,551 persons in a single day. At present, there are 77,127 active cases. Between Tuesday and Wednesday, around 79,824 tests were conducted, of which the results of 6,026 came positive and the reports of 4,091 are pending. So far, 1,33,47,076 have been conducted in the state since the pandemic broke out. The highest number of cases were reported from Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, that is 1,115.
The Telangana High Court on Wednesday directed the state government to review the COVID-19 situation and consider imposing additional measures such as implementing weekend lockdown and extending the present curfew hours to flatten the virus curve. A bench of Chief Justice Hema Kohli and Justice B. Vijay Sen Reddy, while hearing the batch of PIL's public interest litigation on COVID-19 issues, directed the government that the review should be done before 8th of April. Currently, night curfew is imposed in the state from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. until 8th of May. Also, the court directed the centre to ensure proper supply of oxygen to the state after Telangana Public Health Director informed the court that the gas tankers meant to the state were being stopped in Tamil Nadu. Moving on to our international news, Palestinian officials said Israeli troops have shot and killed a 16-year-old Palestinian boy during a raid on a village south of the occupied West Bank city of Nablus. According to Defense for Children International Palestine, Israeli forces situated in Olive Tree Grove at entrance of village Odha shot said Odha twice in the back. An ambulance was prevented from accessing Odha for 15 minutes and he was pronounced dead upon arrival after he was transferred to Rafida Hospital in Nablus. Accountability Program Director at DCIP said Israeli forces routinely unlawfully kill Palestinian children with impunity, using international lethal force against Palestinian children when they pose no threat. Systematic impunity has fostered a context where Israeli forces no bounds. Derek Chauvin, the white ex-policeman convicted of murdering African-American man George Floyd, has asked for a new trial on claims of jury and prosecution misconduct. The 45-year-old who knelt Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes in Minneapolis faces up to 40 years in prison after being found guilty last month in a case that prompted a national reckoning on racial injustice and police brutality. Chauvin's attorney Eric Nelson argued that his client did not get a fair trial due to publicity around the case, court and prosecution errors, as well as race-based pressure on the jury. He also alleges that jurors should have been isolated during the trial and that the case could only get a fair hearing in a different place. And Saudi Arabia is considering barring overseas pilgrims for annual Hajj for the second year running as COVID-19 cases rise globally and worries grow about emergence of new variants. Such a move would restrict the pilgrimage to Mecca, a once-in-a-lifetime duty for every able-bodied Muslim who can afford it, to Saudi nationals and residents of Kingdom who were vaccinated or have recovered from COVID-19 at least months prior to attending. While discussing about possible ban have taken place, there has been no final decision on whether to pursue it. Before the pandemic enforced social distancing, globally, some 2.5 million pilgrims used to visit holiest city of Islam in Mecca and Medina for a week-long Hajj and the lesser year-round Umrah pilgrimage, which altogether earned kingdoms about $12 million a year. Before we wrap up our bulletin, let's have a look on our headlines.
Over 4,12,000 daily COVID cases have been added in the country in last 24 hours and 3,980 lives have been lost due to COVID-19. This is the highest spike in cases as well as highest number of deaths in last 24 hours. The third wave of coronavirus is inevitable, says government scientific advisor, warning the vaccine will need to be updated to deal with new strains. Meanwhile, Dr. V.K. Powell says a national lockdown is being discussed. The centre says in the Supreme Court that it is incorrect that Delhi needs 700 metric tons of oxygen. Centre maintains that other states will be deprived of oxygen if it's given to Delhi. As Kerala records over 40,000 new COVID cases in the highest so far, lockdown is announced in the state starting from 8th of May to 16th of May. Rashtriya Lok Dal chief as well as former Union Minister Ajit Singh dies of COVID-19 at a hospital in Gurugram. BJP suffers a huge setback in Uttar Pradesh Panchayat poll. The party wins in 8 seats out of 14 in Varanasi, only 6 out of 40 in Ayodhya, big loss in Mathura, Prayagraj and Gorakhpur. BJP leads in 666 seats, Samajwadi in 747 out of 3050 seats. Day after TERS note, Home Ministry sent 4 team to West Bengal to probe post-election violence. In a span of 24 hours, Telangana reports 6,026 fresh positive cases and 52 deaths.
Well, that is the Siyasat TV English news for this Thursday. Thanks for watching. I am Sumaya Junaid Ahmed. Have a great day.